Welcome everybody to Tex-Mex Nerd Feed. My name is Mex, and today I am going to be talking about what a lot of people don't seem to be talking about. So what do I mean by that? Today I would like to discuss one game in particular that I absolutely love that nobody seems to really want to come or want to be announced or whatever. Don't even consider it as part of a certain gaming franchise. And I'm going to also hit on a couple others that other people have told me about. So, first, I would like to give a channel update. So I talked to Tex, and he said that he is not going to have enough time to even do his scheduled videos, his edited videos, so on and so forth. So he pretty much just told me for the foreseeable future, he's not really going to be able to work with the channel. So right now, I'm just going to I'm still going to do these live streams every Sunday at 8 o'clock, but I'm just kind of trying to figure things out as we go. So I'll keep you updated as we go along, and as information comes available to me, I'll make it available to you. So you don't miss any of these streams, these live podcasts on Sundays at 8 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you hit that notification bell, you'll get notified every time I go live, every time I put up a video, so on and so forth. But so if you don't want to miss any podcast, if you don't want to miss out on the conversations, just go ahead and hit that notification bell after you subscribe. So what I was talking about before, when I was talking about something that, or a game that I would like to see announced, is Donkey Kong. So I hear everybody talk about a new Fire Emblem, a new Bayonetta, a new this, a new that. They want a new Breath of the Wild already. They want another new Zelda game other than Breath of the Wild. They want a new Mario game, like a bunch of new Mario games. Like, everybody's talking about all of these Nintendo IPs, but nobody seems to care too much about Donkey Kong. For me, Donkey Kong is like, from the way I look at the Nintendo IPs, you have Mario on the top. He's the poster child for Nintendo. Then you have the Legend of Zelda series, which is below him. And then under that, to me, I see Donkey Kong. Like, to me, when I had an SNES and a Nintendo 64, there were two games that I was guaranteed to have. It was the big Mario game, it was the big Donkey Kong game. That's all that mattered. And to me, I absolutely love Donkey Kong, and it's way above Mario for me. It's way above all other Nintendo IPs. I don't know what it is that I love about it, but my favorite games in the past, retro games, are the old Donkey Kong Country games, and my favorite game, even though it's not that great of a game, and I admit that, my favorite game for Nintendo 64 is Donkey Kong 64. So, for some reason, I don't see anybody talking about a new Donkey Kong game coming out for the Nintendo Switch, and I don't really understand it, because I see a lot of people complaining that, well, why do I have to pay, I forget what it was, like probably $60 for the Nintendo Wii U Donkey Kong game, the Tropical Freeze. Like, why? Like, it's an old game. Why do I have to pay this much money just to play an old game? Why would you make that argument when you can make the argument, why is it even on the Switch in the first place? Bring a new IP, whether it be a 2D or a 3D Donkey Kong game, bring a new Donkey Kong game to the franchise for the Nintendo Switch, and use the power capabilities that the Switch has. So, speaking of the 2D, 3D, I feel like I think it's Retro Studios that does the Donkey Kong games. I think that they should probably do a third, complete a trilogy like the old Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Just because that's what a lot of people do. For some reason, it's just kind of the guideline for games, movies, so on and so forth. So if you're going to be making a game series, they usually want you to do like 3. Dark Knight trilogy, the Iron Man trilogy, Captain America, so on and so forth. They all have 3 movies in the series, and that's how it happens with games usually as well. To me, I would much prefer they get something on the level of Super Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild and just kind of turn it into a Donkey Kong game. Like, you have so many options. You can try to me, like I said, I love the Donkey Kong 64 game. So I would absolutely love it if they could take the Donkey Kong 64 game and either remaster it and improve some of the problems that game had and bring it to the Switch. That would be absolutely awesome. Or just bring a virtual console to the Switch. Excuse me. But a lot of people don't seem to really want to do that. So, my next point is, all right, we'll get Retro Studios to do a third Donkey Kong Country game to kind of wrap it up, whatever, and then in the future we could get like a 3D Donkey Kong game. But in all honesty, I would much rather have a 3D style platformer Donkey Kong game and make it a collectathon like 64 was. Make it just, I don't know, it was just really fun the way Donkey Kong 64 was. To me, it was challenging to try to get absolutely everything, and it was really cool the way they added a whole bunch of different characters. You had Chunky, Lanky, Tiny, Diddy, so on and so forth. So it was just fun to be able to play as those different Kongs, and it was a cool concept that they used to try to add replayability, I guess, to try to collect absolutely everything, because each character, each Kong, had a specific item that they could collect. So, for me, like I said, Donkey Kong is number one. That is my favorite game of all time, and I will always advocate to get a Donkey Kong game, and I don't know why nobody else seems to be talking about it. Like I said, I always hear about, we need Fire Emblem, we need Metroid, which Metroid Prime does seem really cool. I have never actually played it myself, but that's just one of the things that everybody wants. They want the Bayonetta, Metroid Prime, Fire Emblem, so on and so forth. But to me, I just feel like longtime Nintendo fans kind of deserve some of the long time running Nintendo IPs, such as Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong. We got Mario and Zelda. I don't understand why Donkey Kong isn't one of the bigger ones to come about. But like, I thought that Donkey Kong was higher than Pokemon, but like we are getting a Pokemon. We're getting a Pokemon game way before we even hear talks about a Donkey Kong game. Even like Luigi's Mansion, that's advocating. Animal Crossing, I never heard of that until I watched the Nintendo Direct that announced it last year. I don't know if it was the E3 one or not, but yeah, I have no idea what Animal Crossing even is, and like everybody's advocating for that game over Donkey Kong. I just don't understand it. Like it's unfathomable to me that like there are these games that were completely unheard of that are now skyrocketing in popularity above some of the very popular IPs that existed before, back in my day. Make it sound like I'm freaking old, but I'm 24 years old. But anyway, so another thing is my girlfriend and I watched the Microsoft showcase for E3, and she was disappointed as well. She was hoping, because there were some rumors that there was going to be a Fable 4 announcement or a Fable reboot announcement, and that would have been one thing. I'm a Sony fanboy. That would have been one thing to actually push me into getting an Xbox. I still don't have an Xbox. After watching the E3 presentation, I still have no reason to get an Xbox. There were a couple things that I thought were interesting, but I don't think interesting enough to actually spend that kind of money on a new system. I'll stick with the PlayStation for now. I seriously hope the Xbox does something to kind of bring better original IPs to Xbox, to kind of convince people to actually purchase their product and purchase their console. So I honestly don't know how long it has been, but that was pretty much everything that I had to discuss. Was just why are people ignoring some of these big franchises that I thought were always popular? Like, let me know in the comments section below. Is Donkey Kong actually popular? I always thought that it was. There are so many other franchises and IPs that I thought would have been not necessarily announced, but at least hoped for. Something way beyond, or yeah, way beyond things like Animal Crossing. But like, not to talk crap on the game because I never played it, but Animal Crossing just, it was a game that I never heard of, and Donkey Kong was a game that everybody heard of. So I just don't understand how that was a thing. So I had initially wanted to um, stream Bethesda's showcase at 8:30. If I don't make it to 8:30, like by the time I'm finished, then I'm probably just gonna cut it short and not stream it. But there's always that option. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go over to the social media page and bring up some comments that we got on our questions that I posted. So the first question I posted was, well, it's not loading right now. Give me one moment. So, what is an unpopular game slash IP you would like to see announced this coming E3 season? So, my friend said that the new Xbox is expected to be announced, which it is, Project Scarlet. The way they were describing it, it does sound pretty good, pretty fast, very powerful. Again, I'm a Sony fanboy, so I'm hyped for what PlayStation has to offer, and what they have to offer sounds very similar. But and I'm not a tech guy, so they throw out these words and stuff, and I don't understand most of it. And then he said hopefully a GTA 6 will be announced. We still have time to see a GTA 6 be announced, but I don't see why they would do that, considering they're still milking GTA 5, I guess is the best way to put it. And then on my personal page, I pretty much just asked everybody, like, what's one game, like one hidden gem that you loved that nobody else seems to really know about? So for me, I I know I picked a lot of the or a couple of the Disney games. Disney has a lot of or from the old days, from the Sega Genesis, SNES era, had a lot of movie based games. So Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story, and those games were absolutely amazing. I know that I had a whole bunch of fun playing those with my brother and my mom when we were playing the SNES and Sega Genesis. So The Lion King, I think I would put above Toy Story, but both of them are really, really freaking good. All right, so here's another one. I found the post. So, okay, let's try this one. This is what I said. Okay, let's try this one. Is there a game that you love, new or old, that almost nobody has heard of or talks about? There are a couple for me, and the picture I used was it's called Snowboard Kids. It's from an N64 game, and I hardly ever see anybody talk about it. I see Metal Jesus talk about it, or he did talk about it at one point because he was doing a hidden gems video. But yeah, that's definitely one for me. I have no idea how to exit. There we go. So I'm gonna go through some of the comments. This was a very big comment section. My girlfriend said Fable. I know that she really wanted Fable to be announced, and so did I. Like I said, that was one thing that would actually push me into getting it. My mom said Snowboard Kids. That's definitely one that I really enjoyed. And then I also answered another one. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but PlayStation in the PlayStation 2 era had a like an augmented reality game or software, I guess, where they used their camera, which was called an iToy, and you hook it up to the PlayStation and you set it up so that it can see you, and you use it to kind of play games in like an augmented reality way. And the game that we always played or we had was iToy Play 2. We didn't have the first one, and that was one that almost I never hear anybody talk about it, but I absolutely love that game and it's very fun. Another thing is, let me tell you a quick story of when my brother and I actually got our PlayStation 2. We got home from school, and my brother and I, like any other kid, we don't like to do chores. So my mom just kind of surprised us, said, "Hey, you need to go get the laundry out of the dryer." So my brother and I go in and we open the dryer, and we thought it was kind of weird that both of us needed to get the clothes out of the dryer. But anyway, we saw our PlayStation 2 that was in there brand new, and we didn't grow up with money. We didn't have a whole lot. So when we did get surprises like that, it was probably bigger to us than like what most people with an average income would actually experience. So it was absolutely amazing, and we got a game. You probably have heard of it, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, because my whole family we're a bunch of Harry Potter nerds. So my mom got us that Harry Potter, the Prisoner of Azkaban game, and that also had an iToy like mini game in it. So you use augmented reality to kind of do Harry Potter themed mini games. It was really fun. My friend said he put the Jack and Daxter. I have actually heard of Jack and Daxter, and I don't really see many people talk about it too often. I believe it's a Naughty Dog game, so maybe that's where it like discussion came up when people were discussing Naughty Dog in regards to, I think those are the guys who did Crash, right? The first Crash. So that was definitely one. Tonic Trouble. I have never heard of that. It's an N64 game apparently, and that was pretty much my main system growing up was the N64. So I'm surprised that I've never heard of that. But one of the big things that I wanted to do when asking my friends about their opinions on these games, these hidden gems, is because eventually what I'd like to do is kind of pick up some of these and give them a shot, play them a little bit, and kind of review them, and maybe even stream them. I'm gonna have to figure out how to stream retro games, but it's definitely one thing that I'd like to do. So might actually make a series similar to that, just kind of streaming games that I've never played before and that maybe few other people have played, and we can all experience it together. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Never heard of that one. Thrasher, Skate, and Destroy, and Grind Sessions. Now, growing up, I was a skateboarder for like many, many, many years, so I'm surprised that I've never heard of those. I only ever really heard of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games and Skate. So I personally would absolutely love to try these games out. They sound fun to me because, like I said, I'm a skateboarder. So Earthworm Jim, that's another one that I've never heard of before, but heck, I'll give it a shot. Apparently, it was with the Sega Genesis era. So as you can see in the back here, well, you might not be able to see, but Sega Genesis here, N64, Super Nintendo, PS2 there, and a Wii. So definitely have a lot of these systems that I can try. Oh, I mentioned another one. Uh, I put Booger Man, a pick and flick adventure. Now that was for Sega Genesis that I know of. I don't remember seeing it anywhere else, but that's a very nostalgic game, and I've never heard anybody talk about it. It seems like a lot of these retro games are games similar to that, or have that same story where like few people know what they are, but when they do, they absolutely love them, and that's pretty much the definition of a hidden gem. But there are so many hidden gems on a lot of retro consoles. Apparently, there's a floating runner game for PlayStation that I would like to try. If anybody sees anything that they would, or hears anything that I'm kind of yelling out, I'll let me know, and I can definitely go ahead and uh, play those ones specifically. So just in the comment section below, just let me know. All right. Gauntlet is another one. Oh, apparently she added it a minute ago. But Gauntlet is another one that my girlfriend likes. And I was wondering why in the world I didn't see this comment before, but apparently she just commented it a minute ago. But I have no idea what Gauntlet is, but we did pick up a Gauntlet game from my retro video, or from not my retro video game store, but from a retro video game store in my area, and I've been wanting to try it. Apparently, it's a co-op, so I would definitely like to try that with her. And that is about it. We are at 8:22. Like I said, the Bethesda showcase is supposed to be at 8:30. So I guess what I can do is I can go ahead and discuss what I'd like to see from Bethesda, which I know I'm most likely not going to see it. Like 99.9% sure. The 0.1% is that Bethesda's just trying to pull the old switcheroo, and they're actually going to discuss Elder Scrolls. But they said that they're not discussing Elder Scrolls or Starfield, and to me, well, let's get personal again. So, growing up, I've always liked games. I've always liked the idea of games. Like I said, Donkey Kong 64, the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for PS1. These were games that stuck out to me. Mario 64, and I absolutely loved them. But they were mostly time killers, same as for the SNES. When I would go visit my cousin, I would play Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, Bubsy, at my cousin's house on her SNES, and I it was just a time killer. Like I said, I didn't invest too much time in it. So when my grandmother passed away in 2011, I didn't notice this until my brother pointed it out, that he invested a lot of time into Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and he kind of used it as his escape. He used it as his escape from the fact that my grandmother passed away, or our grandmother passed away. And in reality, I didn't realize at that point, but yeah, I did the same exact thing. So Skyrim was what got me into got me into hardcore gaming, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for number one, if it weren't for Skyrim making me a hardcore fan of games, and if it weren't for Tex and his brother getting me into comics and superheroes. So, but yeah, so for me, Skyrim is kind of, well, Elder Scrolls altogether, it's just kind of why I'm here. It's why I am who I am, as well as other things, but it is a staple of me as a person. So I would definitely love to see what Bethesda has to offer in regards to Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, even if they just kind of stated where it might be located, a general synopsis, I don't know, anything. Just, it doesn't have to be much, but I don't really suspect that it doesn't seem as though they're that far along. It seemed like what we got last year at E3 was pretty much them just trying to shut us up, the Elder Scrolls fans, and they did just that. We got excited, but now that it's E3 time again, we just want more. So it pretty much shut us up for about a year, and a lot of Elder Scrolls fans are also Fallout fans, so they get that break from Elder Scrolls when they play Fallout. So when Fallout 76 came about, what did they really have to take their mind off of Elder Scrolls? They had a piece of crap game, and that barely even worked. And when it did work, it was nothing but fetch quests anyway. So my one friend from work, he said that, like, yeah, he's excited. Sorry, he's excited to see what Elder Scrolls 6 has to offer, but like Bethesda has a lot to do to kind of make up to their fans after a couple situations. Number one being the Fallout 76 debacle, and the other one being Elder Scrolls Blades. So Elder Scrolls Blades, I guess it was bad. I played it a little bit. To me, it seemed like for somebody who is fond of mobile games, Elder Scrolls 6 is absolutely amazing. If you're fond of mobile games and you like Elder Scrolls, put them together, and it seemed absolutely amazing. I absolutely hate mobile games because it's just nothing but grind for minuscule items, so on and so forth. You don't get much of a story. You don't get I don't know, you don't get closure, I guess, because it's just ongoing. There's always more to do, and it's always just dumb quests that you end up having to do. So I don't care too much for it, so I played it for like probably 5 minutes, and that was it. I picked up Skyrim on the Switch. So to get my portable fix for Elder Scrolls, Skyrim on the Switch is absolutely perfect. I don't need Blades. Fallout 76, I've never been a Fallout fan, so I didn't really. I considered getting it for a brief moment, and then it released, and I saw people freaking out about how terrible it is. I saw the reviews, how it flopped so bad. Then I obviously didn't pick it up from that point on. Um, so, still have time. We still have 3 minutes before Bethesda does their showcase. So I am actually going to pull that up right now, just so we're ready. When it starts, I'll throw it up over there. You won't be able to see my ugly mug from that point on, but uh, so one thing that I want to do is I want to talk about what we might see. Like I said, I would love to see. Uh, I was just talking about it. Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, but I don't think that we're going to be seeing that whatsoever. So, another thing that I'd like to see is going through the list of other companies that have their showcase upcoming. Let me actually pull up the schedule just to make sure I don't miss anything. I know Ubisoft has one, I think tomorrow, but for me, I would like to see maybe something to do with I almost said Starfield, not Star Fox. I almost said Star Fox, but Starlink. Maybe introduce something else with Starlink. People are suspecting that they're going to announce an Assassin's Creed Viking era game, which I absolutely love Vikings and Norse mythology, so that might be interesting. I don't like Assassin's Creed games, but who knows? I might pick it up just for that fact. Another thing is I play a very unpopular game that a lot of other people don't really like or whatever, but I play For Honor quite a bit, and I'm hoping that they announce their their Viking hero now for this most recent season. They released the knight, I believe, and either Wulin or uh, samurai. but I've been waiting for the Viking because I main Vikings all the time. So I'm excited to see what they have. They kind of showed a glimpse of a hammer that looks like Mjolnir, I guess. But I would definitely be excited to see what they have for that. Well, I guess it's starting now, so I'm going to put in my crappy earbuds. Okay, so I'm going to try to shut up as much as possible, but so I might talk in between some things here and there, but I guess I could go ahead and put this full screen.
With a game, there is no game without the players.
Really, it all comes down to you.
みんなと一緒以外は考えられない。
Without you, there is no game.
There's no one to play it.
No one to interact with it.
意味がないよ。
You keep us in check.
And we appreciate that. And through all of it,
You're always there with us.
You are definitely not afraid to tell us how you feel.
Your feedback sometimes challenges us, but it forces us to be always challenging ourselves.
You empathize with us as developers and with each other as a community. It's really beautiful.
I'm Dinga Bakaba, and I used to take a week off every time a Bethesda game came out.
my name's Mark Diaz, and when I was 8 years old, I used to sneak over to my buddy's house to play Doom.
I'm Rich Lambert. Daggerfall was one of the very first games that got me into the Elder Scrolls
If anybody's
world.
I'm
watching
Zena
live,
Christo, and I started
let
out
me
as
know
a
if
16-year-old
my
gamer who just wanted to bring
microphone
joy to
audio
others through
and,
video games.
the desktop audio.
now
are
I'm game director
like need
at
to be
Arcane
fixed. I
Studios.
can
Now I'm
either
a
turn
game
down my
programmer
mic or
at
turn up
software.
the
Now
video.
I get to be a part of building that world as the creative director on Elder Scrolls Online.
Now I'm a UI programmer at Bethesda Game Studios, and it's everything I could have dreamed of. I see you.
I see you.
I see you.
We see you.
Because we are you.
And together,
Together.
Together?
We are all. We are all.
we are all
We are all. We are all.
I guess the new Dishonored would be a really cool announcement too. We're gonna expect some information for Elder Scrolls Online as well.
Please welcome Bethesda's Senior Global Vice President of Marketing, Pete Hines.
Did you say you can hear the Bethesda stream or you can't?
Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you? Feel good? Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank everyone watching around the world to tuning in to watch our 5th annual E3 showcase. This is a night dedicated to those who love games, who love the incredible entertainment that games provide. This past year, you fought demons on Mars and Nazis in America. You were assassins in the Empire, adventurers in Tamriel, and survivors. A lot of those. And survivors
Okay,
in
I
the
turned
Wasteland.
down the video volume quite a bit.
And you've embarked on these amazing adventures on PC, console, VR, mobile, or wherever and however you choose to play. And that's the key. You take the worlds that we create and you make them yours. You share your experiences with other players, with friends, and with family. With our games, you've built large global communities that truly matter. This year, we want to give special recognition to the extraordinary Bethesda community. As you saw in our opening video, you mean everything to us. I've almost been at this company for 20 years. And when I first started,
They mean so much to everybody. They're chipping them on the canvas bags they were supposed to get for Fallout
when I
76.
first started, one of my first responsibilities was moderating the community forums, chatting with you, and keeping you up to date on our games. It was a great way to start my career at Bethesda because it was the perfect reminder of why we do what we do. And like so many others at Bethesda, I've spent a lot of time with you at events around the world. I've enjoyed meeting so many of you and getting your thoughts and feedback. So tonight, we'll be taking time throughout the show to hear directly from some of you in the Bethesda community. We are thrilled tonight to show our fans the lineup of great games we've been creating just for you, including the premiere of some exciting new games, and we'll go deep on Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that was pretty much expected, was to see some extensive stuff on Doom Eternal and maybe some stuff on Youngblood.
If you're ready, let's kick it off and to get an update from our friends at one of the most celebrated development studios in the world, Bethesda Game Studios. Please welcome studio head and my good friend, Todd Howard.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to see everybody. We have had an incredibly exciting year at Bethesda Game Studios. Given some of that excitement, impressed you're still here. Actually, over the last year, we've had over 60 million players in our games, our most ever. And it's all of you It's all of you who have made these worlds what they are. Take Fallout 76.
You get some sympathy cheers for that one, I guess.
A type of game we'd never done before. Had a lot of difficulties at launch. And we got a lot of well-deserved criticism. But the team kept working on it, and you kept playing it. And through all of that, something amazing has happened. It's thanks to all of you. This game has one of the best online communities we've ever seen. We made a post-apocalyptic survival game where you can do whatever you want, and everybody's nice to each other. They don't go on killing griefing sprees. They leave food and water for the newbies and wave to each other. I don't know about you. This should give us all hope for humanity when the apocalypse does come. To you. And we have a lot more in store this year for Fallout 76. But first, our latest game, The Elder Scrolls Blades, is in early access. And thanks to all of you, it became our second straight #1 mobile game after Fallout Shelter. Absolutely incredible. And to tell you what's coming to Blades, let me introduce project leader Craig Lafferty and art director Matt Carafano.
Like I said before, it's a mobile game. I mean, it's not like it's a groundbreaking.
It's great to be here at E3. And thanks again to all of you for making Blades #1.
As someone who's worked on the Elder Scrolls for 20 years, it's been incredible to bring this world to your phones in an all-new way. We still love those classic dungeon crawlers, and it's clear you do as well.
And whether you're exploring a dungeon or rebuilding your town, it's great to be able to do it wherever you are.
Since it's E3, we're releasing our biggest update yet, featuring all new jobs and solo arena battles, an all new custom jewelry system, and a brand new dragon quest line.
I feel like dragons really put them over the edge with
It has
Skyrim,
even
so they're
more,
just putting
but
them
best of
everywhere
all,
now.
it's coming out tonight. So, download free tonight and give it a try.
And we're also hard at work on our arena mode for this fall that'll feature PvP, your own guilds, and visiting your friends' towns. But most exciting this year, we're also bringing Blades to an all-new platform, Switchblades.
I like how they use switchblades.
Yes, Blades is coming this fall to the Nintendo Switch, and yes, it's still free.
Blades is the perfect fit for the Switch. You can play on the go, on your TV, and with motion controls. But best of all, it's cross-play and cross-progression with the mobile version. So you can start tonight on mobile, and all your progress will carry over. And it's playable here at E3 in our booth and Nintendo's.
Yeah.
It is cool that they offer that. I mean, but like, why would you want to play that dumbed
And for
down
those of you
Elder
playing on
Scrolls
mobile,
game when
we
you have
also have some
Skyrim?
special rewards for both our Apple and Google players this week. So download tonight and let us know what you think. Thanks again.
Now, let me introduce.
I mean, yeah, gameplay
Jeff and
probably
Tom
is
to
quite a
tell
bit
you what's
better,
coming
but
to
like,
Fallout 76.
is there anything that would actually try to, or is there anything with Blades that would actually pull you to play Blades on Switch versus playing Skyrim on Switch?
Hi, I'm Project Leader Jeff Parker, and I'm co-studio director Tom Mustaine. On behalf of everyone at Bethesda Game Studios, we want to thank the millions of you who have played with us, stuck with us, and helped shape the world of Fallout 76.
Absolutely. It's incredible what the game has become. You've told us how much you've loved this year's updates so far, from camp building, legendary weapons, player vending, and of course, the dreaded sheep squatch. We've also been working on our biggest update yet. It's called Wastelanders, and it will fundamentally change the game.
It's been some time since Vault 76 opened its door. And we all discovered that Appalachia isn't quite what it used to be. We encountered a lot of things. Overcame a lot of things. I don't think any of us expected for people to actually come back.
Are you from that vault? Can you help us? We've traveled pretty far. Heard there's hope here in Appalachia. Folk rebuilding, fighting back. We'll fight too, right by your side. We've been everywhere and seen everything. And the one thing we've learned is this. You gotta claim the wasteland before it claims you. The question is, are you with us or them?
To me, that looks about as interesting as it did last year, and obviously, like I said before, I didn't pick it up last year.
That's right. That's right. Human NPCs are coming to Fallout 76. Not just NPCs, but a full quest line, new rewards, and as you saw, full dialogue trees.
This is a long-term story we're telling. Year 1 was about the vault doors opening and all of you settling the wasteland. Year 2 is about people coming back to reclaim it. Like previous Fallout games, these characters have their own stories and goals. It's up to you to choose how to interact with them and live with those consequences.
The Wastelanders update is coming this fall and will be free for all Fallout 76 players.
That's pretty cool considering like all these other updates and stuff for ESO cost about what, $40.
And in the spirit of free, we're doing something special just for E3. Fallout 76 is going to have a free trial for everyone starting tomorrow.
That's right. It's the perfect time to see what Fallout 76 and its growing community have become. We can't wait to welcome all of you. And because so many of you are going to be joining us, we thought we'd also give you a sneak peek this week at an all-new game mode. Check it out.
There were rumors that Fallout 76 was going to be free to play like sometime soon in the future.
Your first test was making it to the vault. Now, your real trial begins. Currently, there is no overseer of Vault 51. Perhaps you will be the one. We are in serious need of leadership, so I have devised a unique process of elimination. A battle to the death is the only sure way to judge the superior candidate. This should prove interesting. There can only be one overseer. Good luck.
Dang. All-out battle royale. Who'da thunk it?
Fuck yeah, we put a battle royale in Fallout 76. That's right. Nuclear Winter is a battle royale born from the Fallout universe. From power armor to perk cards, from camp building to contending with wasteland creatures, and of course, my personal favorite, nukes. It's a great free addition to an already huge game. We love playing it, and we think you will too.
Everybody talks shit on battle royales, but in reality, they're all. It's just pretty much a game mode, so it's just like talking shit on Team Deathmatch or whatever. So just as long as it doesn't add the stupidity that frickin' Fortnite adds, I don't give a shit.
So jump in tomorrow. We can't wait to see you.
Thanks again.
Remember, everything we've talked about that's coming this year is free. We get to represent hundreds of passionate developers across 4 studio locations in North America working on multiple projects. Yes, We're still hard at work on our next-gen RPGs, Starfield, and of course, Elder Scrolls 6. We know how precious these game worlds are to all of you, and they are to us. We know the time you spend in them is important. Keep telling us what you love, what you'd like to see us do better. Thank you again, everybody, for your support, but really, even more so, I want to thank everybody for believing in us. Thank you.
Please welcome the founder of Tango Gameworks, Mr. Shinji Mikami.
Hello. ありがとうございます。I'd like to start by greeting my team in Tokyo. It's Monday morning there, but they are watching. みんなおはようございます。今日真面目にやるよ。Tonight, I am excited to announce the next game from Tango, Ghostwire Tokyo. It is an action-adventure game in which you will fight paranormal enemy and rid the city of supernatural evil. I think you love it. To tell you more about Ghostwire Tokyo, here is creative director at Tango, Ikumi Nakamura.
Wow, so many people. Wow, thank you. ありがとうございます。And such a big stage makes me nervous. I'll do my best to speak in English. We are making a new kind of action-adventure game. It's spooky. But not the survival horror game that we are known for. People are vanishing in Tokyo. You must find out why. You will encounter conspiracies and the occult. You have to explore the world, face challenges, to uncover the truth and save humanity. In the game, you will meet spirits, some dangerous, some peaceful, and survivors that each have their stories. You will need to ask yourself, is this normal or paranormal? I ask myself this question every time I go to the office. Just kidding. We are very excited. Let's take a look. 見てね. Thank you. Bye bye.
This sounds interesting. Spoiler alert, it's Thanos.
Don't fear the unknown. Attack it.
It looks interesting. I'd have to see some gameplay before I get like fully invested into it, but they said it wasn't like a normal survival horror game, which I can't stand those, so.
When I'm not playing Bethesda games, I work as a mechanical engineer.
I work in a hospital. I used to work with kids.
I'm an electrician.
I'm an event planner.
In real life, I'm a systems administrator.
Program assistant for a private school for children with autism.
I'm trying to be an artist. I like to think of myself as one.
Make like back-end systems that it's really boring.
Maybe permanently or temporarily I'm a full-time streamer.
I got a YouTube channel.
I make my own yarn.
I'm a social worker.
Teaching inmates.
I'm a game developer working at a video game cafe.
I've been a Doom fan since the game came out. I remember being in the 8th grade and a buddy of mine giving me the shareware demo on 3.5-inch floppy disks.
My older brother picked up Fallout 3, and I took his copy and played it when he wasn't home.
Fallout 4, oh my gosh, that's like my baby.
The scope of that game was just like a lot bigger than things I was used to.
Just setting foot in Shimmering, the first city that you go to in Somerset, it was amazing.
You would look out and you'd be like, oh, I want to go there. And then you could go there, which was wild.
Go out into the world, go in any direction that you want to go.
The exploration and the weirdness and the alienness of it.
I played Oblivion. I tell you, it probably saved my life.
It was one of my first experiences with a fantasy world that was that immersive.
Love the dragons, scatter the dragons.
You take down a dragon, you can definitely take down any illness.
Don't ever stop adding dragons to your game. Add dragons to Fallout. Add dragons to Rage. Add dragons to everything. Mecha dragons. More dragons.
At least we know where they got their idea to add dragons into everything from.
Please welcome studio director at ZeniMax Online Studios, Matt Fyror.
Thank you. And I just want to shout out to our friend Greg there, the one in the video that really loves dragons. I'm happy to say, Greg, The Elder Scrolls Online has dragons. Right now, in fact, players are deep into the season of the dragon, our year-long story about greed, revenge, cat people, and of course, dragons.
I think that's a bit racially insensitive to call them cat people. They're Khajiits.
Because ESO literally would not exist without you. Watching you play the game, streaming, telling stories, hearing your feedback, we understand that you are the most important part of the world of Tamriel. Thank you. Thank you for making ESO the extraordinary adventure it is today. The past year has been a huge success for ESO. More Game of the Year awards, millions more players have joined. So many, in fact, that we recently added more server capacity just to support all the new players in Tamriel. ESO just keeps getting bigger and better. Just a few days ago, we launched The Elder Scrolls Online Elsewhere. The latest chapter in the game where you're able to visit for the first time the homeland of the Khajiit, as well as control the dead as the new Necromancer class. And if you haven't played it yet, Elsewhere is the perfect starting point for new players. When we announced Season of the Dragon, we kicked it off by showing you a video about how dragons were unleashed on Elsewhere. And we ended with a cliffhanger. Now, I'm really excited to show you what happens next. Check out the world premiere.
Poor kitty.
That's right, another cliffhanger. You may have recognized the return of Sai Sahan, the legendary Redguard Swordmaster. He's the legendary Redguard Swordmaster you met as part of the original 5 companions. He's back as the leader of the Dragon Guard, a group of dragon hunting warriors you've seen in other Elder Scrolls games. He'll be featured in our 4th quarter story DLC named Dragonhold, which will complete the Season of the Dragon. We've got a lot more to share about the return of Sai and the Dragon Guard, which will unveil at QuakeCon later this summer. Before then, keep an eye out for a dungeon DLC adventure called Scalebreaker, which you'll see in August.
There's one guy very close to the mic who is very hype about a lot of the stuff they talk
for your
about.
support of the Elder Scrolls Online. We're humbled by your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm for the game motivates us every day. You guys are seriously awesome. Thank you. But I have something else to talk about. The Elder Scrolls Online isn't the only game in development at ZeniMax Online Studios. We have several other projects, one of which we're ready to reveal tonight. And to tell us all about it is the game's creative director, Kira Schlitt.
Hi, everyone. And now, for something completely different. Imagine a classic Saturday morning cartoon in free-to-play mobile game form. Let's take a look.
Here we go.
So, there's a new branch on Commander Keen's family tree, and they're heading to iOS and Android. If you're hearing about Commander Keen for the first time, it was one of the first PC action games created by id Software in the early 90s. Yeah.
Probably wasn't even born yet. That's
It
probably why I have no idea
boy
what the hell it
genius
is.
Billy Blaze, whose alter ego Commander Keen protected Earth. All of us at ZeniMax Online Studios want to give a really big thanks to our friends at id for trusting us to deliver our modern take on this classic game. So, tonight, as we introduce Commander Keen to a new generation of players, we're also introducing the next generation of heroes. Meet Billy. And Billy. Twin geniuses who follow in their famous father's footsteps. The new commanders are, of course, funny and powerful, but the game is also full of enemies, allies, and some really bad guys. The twins build wacky gadgets from household items to save the Earth from certain alien destruction, drag and drop gadgets to summon allies, attack enemies, and move through the environment. Choose from a caboodle of contraptions to conquer challenges. And try saying that 5 times fast. The twins go on adventures in story mode, which tells some of the classic Commander Keen tales, as well as a whole bunch of brand new ones. In story mode, you'll overcome aliens, collect power-ups, and explore Mars and beyond. You can also go helmet to helmet with other players in battle mode, a real-time, head-to-head race through an alien landscape where you need to control checkpoints and claim the flag to gain ultimate victory. Commander Keen will soft launch this summer on iOS and Android phones. So, please go visit gokeen.com to pre-register to receive unique in-game rewards and hot Commander Keen launch updates. We really can't wait to kick some asteroid with you all. Thanks.
That seemed interesting for people who enjoy mobile games, I guess.
Thank you, Kira. At Bethesda, we, like you, love mobile games. In addition to Blades and the upcoming Commander Keen, millions of you have enjoyed Fallout Shelter, which has now reached over 150 million downloads and counting.
I'm not a big mobile game fan because it's just a way for these companies to
For fans of collectible card games, we brought the Elder
throw
Scrolls Legends to
microtransactions
mobile,
in.
so you could experience the Elder Scrolls in a new way. This year, the Legends community has continued to grow thanks to a lot of upgrades, new features, and new content. It's a great experience for a night of gaming or a quick match over a cup of coffee.
Make your play.
See? Dragons. If you enjoy other card games but are looking for something that provides a little deeper challenge, you can download Legends for free on the App Store and begin playing tonight. Legends' next expansion, Moons of Elsewhere, will be available on June 27th for PC, Mac, mobile, and tablet. You can head over to Bethesda.net to get a glimpse at the new cards and content, or play it this week in our booth. I'll see you there, clapping.
I guess for people who are into card games, it's probably cool.
Content,
I don't know.
3 weeks ago,
I'm not
we
one of them.
released Rage 2, and now Insanity Rules. And now Insanity Rules for millions of players around the world. But we wanted to do more than just deliver a critically acclaimed open world shooter. We've already added community challenges that reward you just for having fun in the wasteland, and we've got a lot more planned with new features rolling out this week. The world of Rage 2 will become even more unpredictable and even more insane. Take a look.
This is one that I wanted to pick up when it was shown last year.
Look all around at this destructibility. Withstand when the red barrels drop unwittingly. There's no left to go on. Fight around the bend. All of this and more is waiting in the wasteland. Come on, let's make a toast. Come on, let's kill some coast. Get some hearts and some limbs and some heads to explode. So free, now the world just stays. Deep down inside, you're the wasteland hero.
Oh, that's my next tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Thing looks creepy as fuck.
I got a tremendous surprise for you all.
Still don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I wanted to pick it up last year, but
Welcome executive producer at Machine Games, Jörg Gustafsson.
Hello, everyone. After liberating America from the Nazi scum in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, this year we take you back to Europe with 2 new Wolfenstein games. First, we are bringing Nazi killing into virtual reality with Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. As a hacker working for the French resistance, you will take control of Nazi war machines and turn them against their creators. Cyberpilot will be available this July, and it's playable this week in our E3 booth. And if you haven't fought Nazis in VR, you don't know what you are missing. But, as I said, we have 2 new Wolfenstein games. This summer, we are going to be launching Wolfenstein Youngblood. With a gameplay experience that is bigger than any previous Wolfenstein game. You will have more weapons and weapon upgrades than ever before, more ways to customize your playstyle, and, of course, even more evil Nazis to kill. And in Youngblood, you can kill those Nazis with a friend. Yes, Wolfenstein is going co-op. Youngblood is set in the 1980s, 2 decades after the new Colossus. B.J. Blazkowicz is missing in Nazi-occupied Paris, and it's up to his twin daughters, Jess and Soph, to track him down. In Youngblood, you can still play by yourself, or you can partner with a pal to double up on shooting, stabbing, and killing Nazis. Check it out.
Paris. Nazi country. That's where Papa is, so that's where we're going.
We can find him. Together.
I may have an assignment suitable for two Nazi killers such as yourselves. Stewardesses. Just enjoy life for a second, Jess.
Wolfenstein Youngblood releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on July 26th.
Never played a Wolfenstein game before, but like with the co-op capabilities, it's definitely something I'm interested in.
Stop by our E3 booth to play this week. Thank you. And now, I'd like to welcome to the stage my dear friends from Arcane Lyon, who worked with us on these two Wolfenstein games, Dinga and Sebastian.
We love you too.
Hi, I'm Dinga Bakaba, and game director at Arcane Lyon.
Bonsoir, I'm Sébastien Mitton, art director in the same studio.
So, along with partnering with our good friends at Machine Games on Wolfenstein, we've been working on other projects at Arcane Lyon. And tonight, we're excited to announce our latest first-person action game. It's something innovative, stylish, and different from anything we've done before.
Let me begin by saying bienvenue to the frozen island of Black Reef. This is a place of mystery, where looks can kill. The game takes place during what we say in French is a période de folie, a time of madness.
And now that we've given you a small taste of the world, let us introduce you to our two deadly rivals, Colt and Juliana.
This place isn't a paradise. It's a prison. Out here, we're trapped.
We're free.
In this endless, eternal cycle.
Nowhere to run to, baby.
My life's purpose is on this island.
And I can't let this go on any longer. The more days I repeat,
The longer that I'm out here,
the more certain I am.
of what I have to do. The only way to protect the cycle
The only way to break the cycle
is to kill you. Time is on my side.
Oh, it seems pretty interesting. Oh, it actually seems really interesting. I think I might actually pick that one up. Depending, I'll see what else they announce throughout the year. But
Combines a mind-bending story with meticulously designed levels, and of course, arcane signature gameplay that lets you approach every situation any way you like. Because in the endless clash between these two extraordinary assassins, how you play is up to you.
Plus, I think it's really fucking cool.
Bethesda and the
Excuse my
cringe.
French.
Yeah, maybe maybe you should have said that in French actually.
Maybe not.
But it's also pretty fucking true. Because because we will take you on a trip unlike any other, and we really hope that you enjoy the ride.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
It's a wonderful way to get away from all the pressures in life.
I think the sense of community has really helped me as a person because I'm typically very isolated.
It's definitely very confidence building.
It's brought me out of my shell and stopped being an introvert.
I could like be a hero and do all these things.
You find really creative, really fun, really talented people.
Meet people who were in my group that I've only known as a character.
Probably made more friends online than I have in real life.
The games that you bring out just helps people, honestly.
My parents were refugees from the Vietnam War, which is why I'm also fascinated by elements of war.
Playing these games just kind of put me out of the worry and the stress.
I was in a dark place for a while, and I told myself I wasn't going to be there anymore. And so now the only dark places that I'm allowed to go are in dungeons and ESO.
Just being someone who is LGBT, it's nice to be able to sit down and play these games and feel accepted for who I am.
It's really nice to see that their storyline has some sort of emotional effect on me as a player.
And I just really admire the creativity that goes into the process of making these big worlds with these amazing stories.
Building these fantastic worlds and telling these stories comes from a passion to deliver the very best experiences for our players. Hi, I'm James Altman, Director of Publishing at Bethesda.
And I'm Robert Duffy, Chief Technology Officer at id Software. Tonight we have some exciting new technology to show you that can dramatically improve gaming for millions.
So for the past 2 decades, we've approached game development not by looking at what is possible today, but with a vision of what can be possible tomorrow. And at Bethesda, we're proud of our legacy of innovation, where again and again we've changed the industry. We were the first to use physics-based engines for sports games. We were groundbreakers with Go Anywhere, Do Anything, open-world RPGs. We are the inventors of the first-person shooter, which is now the world's most popular form of gaming. We are pioneers in downloadable content and the first to bring mods to consoles. And actually, since we first brought mods to consoles in 2016, there have been 1 billion mod downloads for Fallout and Skyrim. We, of course, developed the first commercially viable VR technology revealed in our E3 booth in 2012. Yes, that is the original VR headset, held together by tape and worn by our very own Tim Willits. And of course, we are well known as developers of best-in-class engine technology with our IdTech engine. Innovation and creativity is in our DNA, and all of these advances were done with one goal in mind: to improve player experiences. So tonight, we have exciting new technology to announce.
We're going to show you the result of years of research and development. Cutting-edge game engine-based technology we've developed specifically for game streaming.
Now, we'd like to introduce you to Orion. Orion is a tremendous breakthrough in streaming technology. It is our name for a group of patented technologies that optimize game engines for performance in a cloud environment. Orion can work with any game engine and will improve player experiences no matter which game you're playing or whether you're streaming on Stadia, on xCloud, or another streaming platform. So, how does Orion work?
The exciting game streaming services you've been hearing so much about have largely focused on hardware solutions to address the complex challenges of streaming. There's a lot of words. We used our expertise in developing game engine software and took a different approach. By incorporating Orion technology at the game engine level, we're able to stream game content up to 20% faster per frame, leading to a dramatic reduction in latency. In addition, an Orion-enabled game can stream with up to 40% lower bandwidth. And happily, for game developers, Orion technology is easy to integrate with your game build with our SDK.
But what does that mean for you? It means that streaming games will be faster and better with Orion. And Orion substantially reduces the cost of streaming for players and for publishers. So it won't matter if your friends and family are sucking up all the bandwidth or if you live far away from a data center. With Orion, you'll still be able to stream your game at max settings.
Now, as with any new computer technology, one must ask the question, can it play Doom?
Good question. Can it stream an unrelenting, fluid, first-person shooter with native 4K resolution at 60 frames per second? Let's see.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I'd like to introduce Shale Williams, tech specialist from id Software, who is showing you just that here live on stage.
So Shale is streaming an Orion-enabled Doom 2016 right now to that mobile device. As you can see, there is no reduction in visual fidelity. That's Doom at 60 frames per second without perceptible latency. And we want you all to experience this powerful streaming technology yourself as we test and refine it. So for a chance to be among the first in the world to stream Doom 2016 for free, all you need to do is join the Doom Slayers Club by registering at slayersclub.com tonight. Because everybody could use a little more Doom in their lives.
And we'll see you in hell.
That is pretty damn impressive.
What you interfere with now is bigger than you can imagine. If you continue, you will bring down the heavens' wrath. It is written. It is their time to give penance. You are but one man.
That was awesome. This is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm Marty Stratton, the executive producer of Doom Eternal.
And I'm
Thank you.
and I'm Hugo Martin, the game's creative director.
As you just saw, we're not just building a world for Doom, it's an entire universe. Earth is on the brink of annihilation. It's being consumed by demons, and your crusade to save it will take you across dimensions to locations never seen before in Doom, from heaven and hell to the Sentinel homeworld and beyond.
Yeah. There is so much to see and discover, but Doom is first and foremost about gameplay, and Doom Eternal promises to be the ultimate power fantasy. The fun comes from mastering the experience, because you are the Doom Slayer, the strongest, fastest demon killer in existence, and nothing can stand in your way.
Absolutely. Of course, the challenge in Doom is all about handcrafted combat, but also engaging level design. And in Doom Eternal, the game always has something new to throw at you, even deep into the campaign. Let's take a look.
I've never beaten Doom before. I just played it recently on the Nintendo Switch. It was the first time I ever played it. I never beat it, but the gameplay mechanics are absolutely amazing. They are really fun to definitely master.
You know, it's so important to us at id Software that every aspect of the gameplay has real meaning to you, the player. Every enemy is different, every weapon has a purpose, and every decision you make really counts. The only path to victory in Doom Eternal is to aggressively control the fight with amazing agility, powerful guns, and critical resources.
That's right, I'll tell you, we absolutely can't wait for you to play it. And some of you won't have to wait too long. If you are lucky enough to be in the room tonight, you'll have a chance to play it immediately following the show. And for those not here, but at E3 this week, we'll have Doom Eternal playable in the Bethesda booth all week.
Yeah. But enough talk. Let's see how it all comes together and watch as this perfect killing machine goes to work.
Charting a flight path to Mars. Calculating thrust vectors. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Approaching planetary entry phase. Prepare for turbulence.
Yeah, this gameplay seems really freaking fun. The Doom 2016 that I played, it seemed very repetitive, and I got very bored with it after a couple hours of playing it. So hopefully this doesn't have that same effect. I mean, I still want to pick this one up. Obviously the gameplay is over the top, very actiony, so much fun, but like I said, it does get very repetitive and monotonous, so hopefully this one is different.
Thanks.
All right.
That was classic. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks. We're so excited because the gameplay that you just saw is just a piece of what you're going to play this week at E3. Yeah. But I bet a lot of you are wondering, when do we get to play Doom Eternal at our home?
Well, you don't have to wait too much longer. Not quite tomorrow. But Doom Eternal will release on November 22nd. We're very excited about that, and we've got something really special for Doom fans. An amazing collector's edition we're really proud of.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's an actual helmet.
That looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, you could wear that thing.
Hey Tanya, if you're watching, we might have to spend a bit of money.
This guy's already got it.
That's right.
Already a badass.
He's already got one on.
All right, well, we've got one more thing we know that you've been waiting to hear about. our totally new Doom multiplayer experience. We call it Battle Mode. We've been developing this in-house at id, and it's unlike anything you've played before.
Yeah, we've been so pumped at id to share this with you. This is pure Doom, but with your friends, where 2 player-controlled demons take on 1 fully loaded Slayer in a fight to the death. This is a first-person fighter, where it's demon strategy versus Slayer skill.
You know, we can't wait, because we know you'll love the different play styles of the various demons, because each has unique movement, attacks, and abilities.
They can even spawn AI demons to control the battlefield and help you take down the Slayer. It's strategic, competitive, and it's a ton of fun. And we can't wait to share more details with you this year at QuakeCon.
That's right, a lot more to share at QuakeCon, but before we go, we do want to take a first look at Doom Eternal's new multiplayer. On behalf of our amazing team at id in Dallas and Frankfurt, Germany, we want to thank you all so much for your support.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Fight. Demon health critical. Slayer health critical. Slayer killed. Round 2. Demon summon. Final round. Fight.
That definitely seems pretty freaking fun. It was like a hell of a time.
Another round of applause, please, for Marty Hugo and all of our presenters tonight. And for everyone at our studios around the globe that have worked so hard on the great games you've seen tonight, we say thank you. 2019 marks 25 years of Doom. So to celebrate, we will be going all out with Doom at QuakeCon this summer. We're adding a whole host of panels and activities dedicated to Doom, which we call DoomCon. Yeah, see what we did there? We took out the Quake and put Doom. We hope you can come hang out with us in Dallas at our inaugural event in London. If you can't, please tune in online. Until then, go to Bethesda.net for more info on all the games you saw tonight. If you're here at E3 this week, we'll have hands-on with many of our games, so be sure to stop by our booth. In the meantime, thanks for playing, thanks for watching, and thanks to all of you for being part of the Bethesda community. Have a great night.
At Bethesda, we're in the business of creating heroes.
But the true hero is you.
Okay. So, let me get rid of the audio. There we go. Alright, so that was a bit longer than I expected it to be, but we got to see some of the stuff that Bethesda had to offer. Like I said, I didn't really expect to see anything in regards to Elder Scrolls or Starfield. They said specifically that we would not, so... Alrighty. So, I guess that's actually going to be it for me. If you want to join in on the discussion, go ahead and follow us at Tex-Mex Nerdfeed on Facebook and Instagram. I have the links in the description below. You can go ahead, click them, and follow us. Like I said, there was something that came up that Tex could no longer join me on the channel, so I'm just going to try to come up with something, see how we're going to proceed from this point on. But like I said, I still think I'm going to be doing these live streams for every Sunday. So 8 p.m. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. But yeah, that's it for me. Like I said before, I'm going to find a meme of the week, and I had definitely found the one I'm using for this week. So, thank you again, and good night.